This is going to be my last post for a while. Something big is coming down the pipe. Something that has started in Corner 9 and is tearing its way down the line. We don't know exactly what it is, but beyond any entity we've ever seen. What's worse is that, if our lab rats are right about this thing, it has the potential to make it all the way to Corner 1. Don't misunderstand me. Corner 1 isn't some linchpin universe. In fact, if it was, there would likely be a lot more resources devoted to protecting it. But one of the few things we thought we could count on was that anything that doesn't fit in Corner 1 can't go to Corner 1. But today, we won't talk about that. Reason being, either me and my friends will fix it, or all of you are fucked. And either way, this knowledge might save your life. Ever been back to a high school or a grade school you went to? Ever get that strange feeling in the pit of your stomach? An odd sensation you can't quite place? Now, have you ever noticed how you lack this feeling in other similar schools? As you can guess, there is a reason for that. Let's talk about weavers. Weird, nasty little things. Weavers can, and do, live anywhere. And I do mean anywhere. If you are in a decent sized city, I can almost guarantee there is one living with you, or one of your neighbours on either side. But their preferred residents are high schools and grade schools. We will get into that in more detail in a minute though. They are about the size of an average adult, with deep purple skin. Their hands appear swollen and arthritic at first glance. But when weaving, more on that in a moment, or attacking, each finger splits into 4 frighteningly dexterous antenna-like digits. Their mouths are much too small for their face, and their noses tend towards harsh and sharp. Their hair is matted and fungal, and seems to move of its own accord. When excited, their pure white eyes pulse with deep, black veins. And keep in mind, all of this is before we even discuss their toolbox. They make no noise, have no smell, perfect weight distribution, and in short bursts can move faster than you can see. They also have the ability to take emotion from a place, spin it, and turn it into a facsimile of life. Apparitions, deformed simulacra, warped routines playing out for decades. They really like to screw with people, which isn't to say they are not dangerous as well. After a few months of torturing some poor person or group, they will attack. Weavers are strong and fast enough to break your ribs just by running into them. I don't have much by way of advice if you find yourself face to face. Actually, there is one thing. If you have a chain, rope, or other flexible weapon, those are your best bet. They are half in a different reality, and this makes their depth perception suck. Something spinning and changing angles that fast is going to be the best chance of even scoring a hit. Now we talk about why they like schools. High emotion is the first thing. Your average high school is a bubbling cauldron of hatred and hormones. This gives them plenty of stuff to weave. They take bits and pieces of every child's emotion, combine and twist them, give them some kind of life. Most can at best make ghostly images and entities, but some very old ones can create dozens, if not hundreds of creatures at one time, and let them play out when no one is around. They walk the halls of their own twisted fiefdom in complete control. But if there is a large enough spark, this turns from a nighttime hobby into essentially a twisted endurance slog for the poor bastard or bastards that get caught up in it. The easiest way for a big enough spark to happen, of course, is for part of their web to overlap. When your dumbass goes into that high school reunion and passes out in the library, let's say, and suddenly, you are in a world composed of the worst parts of the minds of 10 generations of teenagers. Don't panic. Fear is what they are looking for. Think of where you are as a giant microwave. The more you panic, the quicker you cook. Once you are done cooking, 8 to 12 of the weavers will descend on you. One-on-one, on a good day, with the right weapon, you will have a decent chance. Once the whole hive gets involved, that's a death sentence. You have one of two goals right now. One, find one exit that is open. No idea, but there is always one. Get out and run far. 2. Set fire to or blow the place up. This is dangerous, as most of the time, weavers will call your bluff, essentially checkmating you into suicide. But if option 1 isn't feasible, don't discount a little shock and awe. And this is what is standing in your way. The entire place is going to be packed with very real, very angry, almost living amalgams of students that have went there. Some will look more or less human. Others may be screaming, gibbering masses of limbs smashing through lockers in an attempt to end their lives. You will be taunted, pushed, shoved, psychologically tortured by pained shrieks of anyone you knew who went to the school. But they will not initially maim or kill you. The weavers want the meat for themselves, but they need it well cooked with fear. Violence will be met with the same kind of violence. This is very important to remember. Best case scenario is you getting to the exit without even an angry stare. Going all cowboy, that gets you killed in a hurry. Do not, under any circumstances, go into the classrooms. There will be 2 things waiting in each. One is an image of such concentrated fear that you will be cooked in seconds. And the other is, you guessed it, a weaver. And this one gets you all to itself. Literally, no worse fate in this situation. Take as much physical punishment as you can before dishing any out, all while going to the exits in turn. Hopefully, you don't miss any, and you find the open exit. If not, you get slowly driven mad, beaten till your hardest parts are cracked and easy to eat. Then, the weavers come in. Those tiny mouths can strip the flesh and bone shards with ease, slowly consuming you as you watch. Your limbs useless to even cover your soon-to-be-eaten eyes. Yeah, that was dark. But I'm not really in a light-hearted mood. This next mission I'm going on, it's not like anything before. These new things, they don't play by any rules. They tore through 2 corners, that weird planet-cracking force as if it is nothing. And worst of all, they seem to have a plan. We've started calling them the M for multiples. Looks like, originally, someone was trying to screw with some of our tech we lost, overclocked it, and released a plague everywhere. There was so much more I wanted to tell you guys, and I hope a day comes when I can, but I'm not so sure of that at the moment. So before I go, here is just some general solid advice. 1. You can be on good terms with an entity, but never forget that within the social and cultural norms they are used to, you are like a squirrel at best. What I mean by that is that the entity may get looked down on for eating you, but shit, plenty of people eat squirrel. 2. Be into self-defense, but do it right. Don't buy a weapon you are not going to know inside and out. Blowing your face off because some ghoul might attack. That's dim. 3. Keep an eye out for new entity strains. My organisation hasn't scratched the surface of their variety. If something doesn't seem normal, it might not be. Eat junk food as much as possible. Think of it this way. What pig do you want to eat? The one that is grain-fed and free-range, or the one that eats by scrounging at the dump? 5. If you come across any mention of the game, stop reading, listening, whatever. If the M are priority 1 for my organisation, the game is priority 2. It's run by a group of entities that make everything we've talked about here seem like children's mascots. 6. Don't follow my path. It sucks. And if I'm right, all the nastiness in the universe might be knocking down your door soon enough. 7. If you can't follow that advice, and have made it this far, I'm going to do you one last favour. Keep in mind, I shouldn't be telling you about this. As much as I've told you, there is a whole classified file of stuff that is well above your pay grade. What I'm saying here is, I'm being the hip uncle giving you a pack of M80s for your birthday. Don't go blowing your fucking hand off and making me look like an asshole, okay? I'm going to tell you how to get yourself a cater killer. My name. Deal with it. This is the equivalent to a catfish for the ethereal realm. Not in looks, but in function. It eats all of the emotional and soul-based garbage that would otherwise be building up in the ether and keeps everything nice. It's also one of the most loyal, brutal, resilient pets you can own. Adults are about 200 to 300 pounds, 6 foot long, excluding any tentacles, legs, stingers, etc., and look like a cross between a slug and a centipede. Its face tends to have some characteristics of humans, mixed with the insectile. They vary in appearance around the globe, but have been known to possess various types of natural weaponry. See above. From the insect kingdom. They are very intelligent, and can even be taught to mimic many human words. How to get them? It sucks. Shit. I'm kind of a fuck you deal with it kind of guy. But I'm going to say, right off the bat, I'm going to leave a lot of this to your imagination. You'll get it, if you are smart enough to have made it this far anyway. You'll need to find some scumbags. Not just any scumbags. They need to be killers, but also need to, be mean to animals. You need to stalk these guys. Must be a group of over 3, but I guess it doesn't have to be men. And stand by while they are very mean to animals. Normally, this would generate a lot of bad ethereal garbage, but not quite enough to bring a cater killer into existence. But if you are the secret ingredient, your trauma will be the catalyst to induce the para-reality that will let the cater killer get a physical form. It's going to kill those dickheads. But you knew that, didn't you? Next, it's coming for you. If you are a stone-cold psycho and none of this bothered you, better hope you brought a massive gun or a bigger truck. It's going to try and tear you apart. But if that whole experience took a little bit of your soul with it, if you felt for the animals and the guys who hurt them, you now have 300 pounds of muscle and chitin at your beck and call. Use it wisely. You'll only get one. And now, I really have to go. I just wanted to make sure that last part was only for those of you who are dedicated. It's been fun. Andrew McRae.
Where the darkness lies, Andrew McRae, the one who thrives, facing demons with a fiery stare. He's seen things that would make you despair, from cursed toys to sentient foes. He's faced it all, and still he goes with knowledge sharp as any blade. He'll navigate this twisted arcade through the chaos and the strife. He's learned the secret to survival, the key to life. This is how to survive, this is how to fight. Andrew McRae will keep you alive. With a heart of steel and a spirit bold, he'll conquer darkness, face the unknown. Cursed toys and twisted games. In this world, nothing's quite the same. Andrew's seen it all before. He'll keep fighting, that's for sure. With every step, he's not afraid to face the horrors that lie in the shade. In a realm where rules don't apply, he's the one you want standing by. In a world where the rules don't apply, and he shows you how to survive. This is how to survive, this is how to fight. Andrew McRae, keep you alive. With a heart of steel and a spirit bold, he'll conquer darkness, face the unknown. Through the forest and the streets, he'll never accept defeat. With courage as his guiding light, he'll keep pushing through the darkest night. In the depths where nightmares dwell, he'll rise above, breaking the spell with each battle. He'll prove his might as he stands against the endless night. How to survive in a world so cruel. Andrew McRae, he's nobody's fool. With steel in his heart and fire in his eyes, he'll keep fighting until the darkness dies. So raise a glass to Andrew McRae, a warrior who'll never fade away. In a world where shadows thrive, he'll teach us all how to survive.